My name is Everlyne Atinga. I'm humbled to be here.
Karibu sana. Thank you for finding time to join us today. And we'll just jump into the conversation. I had already briefed you. We are discussing matters, relationships, right? And Evelyn, I think everybody would understand when you say relationships. It's not really just the romantic kind of relationships we're talking about. We have so many relationships, parent-child relationship, siblings, and all that. But we want to look at why is it important to have a good relationship.
To me, a relationship is kind of a bond or kind of a responsibility in between. Just as you've said, we have relationship between the husband and the wife. We have the relationship between parents and their children. There is the relationship between the siblings themselves, the relationship between the families,
Yes.
Family, extended family, friends at work. Yeah, all those are type of relationship.
Yes. And I just want us to look at, let us start with at home. Why is it important to, let's say it's a spouse and a spouse, this is a husband and a wife. Why is it important to have a good relationship, and how can we build that good relationship?
The relationship back at home is what make the man, or is what make the woman. And in most common cases, our relationship, the responsibility always starts in the morning. It's something maybe we'll assume, but it starts in the morning when people wake up. You get to know, what about my partner? You say hi to one another. If it's breakfast, sometimes we say, we've woken up at 6 or at 5. We need to leave the house. We can't have tea at that given moment. But that kind of breakfast that you take from the house together build that relationship.
It's 5 a.m. We're going to have breakfast at 5 a.m.
Yes, you need to start having your own breakfast, because you'll not have a kind of a breakfast in non-communicable way. Already you've started communication. It builds that relationship. It brings the responsibility as far as the couples are concerned. Just because in the African context, food is communal.
Yes.
Sitting together, having that food, it's bringing us together. So if there is something building up amongst us as couples within that family, already we would have known there is something that we need to iron out just from the greetings, from the wake-up greetings, or from the table. You will kind of know it and be able to build it before it gets to the edge.
So it's the small things that really matter.
Yes.
When you're getting to just build a relationship with your significant other.
Yeah.
Now, let's say it's a situation where we are having there's a communication breakdown. Let's say you're having trust issues because of where you came from. The two people have been brought up from two different systems. Now, how do these two people come together and merge whatever they have to build one system for them to have a good relationship?
Just as we said, relationship is a bond and is a responsibility. It's take and give. It's take and give.
Most of us, we just take.
Yeah, it's take and give. You cannot just be on the receiving end, that you just want to take and you don't want to give. In a relationship, there are so many things that we sacrifice. Yes, I know. We are all brought up in different environments.
Yes.
But now we are coming together, that we want to kind of harmonize our backgrounds to build our life together. So it means there are those things you'll give, you will take, and you let go some of these things so that you kind of build a relationship. You're not, and the relationship that you are kind of building, it kind of started somewhere and it's building. It didn't start at that given moment. And also, again, when in a relationship, sometimes we tell people what they want to hear. Sometimes we call them the sweet nothings. I don't know how sweet nothings they are. But it's good to tell people what they must hear.
What they need to hear.
Yeah. Because we are building it. So I need not to cheat you. You need not to cheat me. Let's build a relationship whereby you know one another and get to know deeply into one another and see, do I really still want to continue with this relationship? Is this the person that I want to make my life to be with? Yeah. Because apart from being boy-girl, you're becoming husband and wife.
Yes.
Then there is the generation that you'll also bring in. And the generation will pick the kind of relationship that you have. Yeah. So if you don't cement this relationship to be strong, then the generation that you'll bring, who are the children, within that relationship, because these are two worlds which have come together, who are going to have kids in their relationship, and they want the kids to be in this kind of bond of the two in one. I want to believe in most relationship or in marriage is where the mathematics 1 + 1 is always 1.
Yes.
It is never 2.
Yes.
So these one are also bringing another person to be one like them.
And that is why it's important for you to have a good relationship with your partner, because it's not just about you.
It's not just about you.
There's someone else who's coming in, and these are your children, assuming also our in-laws.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Our friends, because also if the relationship back at home is not kind of smooth, when you get at work, you'll definitely throw tantrums to the other people.
Yes.
So they kind of get hurt because of the kind of relationship you have back at home.
We want to look at the consequences of a poor relationship. You had just mentioned that sometimes when you're having issues with your significant other, you end up throwing tantrums at your workspace, just rubbing shoulders with your friends, colleagues, and all that. What are some of the consequences of poor relationships?
Yeah, you've just mentioned one, that is kind of throwing tantrums at work. This one actually affect your relationship again.
It
with
goes
your
back.
Work.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Workmates. Because there is the way you also relate at work. And because you have problems back in the house, you've carried them along with you, throwing tantrums at your workplace, affecting your environment and all your colleagues, of which nobody would actually want to relate with you at that given moment that you're throwing tantrums. You're also moody, kind of. So you kind of have that withdrawal kind of a symptom. Yeah, because most of the time people have this withdrawal symptom that when we have problems, what I can do is just stay away.
Unajionea huruma.
Unajionea huruma. You don't want to discuss it. And this one keep on affecting you that much. So that is kind of one of the some of the disadvantages. If it goes on and on, it brings that kind of dysfunctional in this kind of relationship, and even performance.
Okay. Now this is your relationship. This is a relationship between an individual and the workplace.
And the workplace, and also back in the family. Yeah, because remember, wherever we are living, whichever place we are, when we are going home, home is kind of an hostel. What does an hostel do? It's kind of, I need to go rest, nurse kind of the wounds that I have the whole day. Then the place you're going to nurse your wounds for the day, if you had problems at work, it's now another hell that you can't be in. So sometimes you even want to prolong your stay either at work or with your friends outside, and not in the family, not in your relationship. And this one kind of, you keep on pushing it down the carpet, and it keeps on affecting that relationship. So it's like you have a relationship which is in existence, non-existence. It's not existence. It's kind of, okay, we just found ourselves inside there, so let's journey. But in the essence, it's not there. Yeah.
And this is how some parents, they find themselves umeolewa tu ama umeoa tu, so mnamaliza tu safari.
Yes.
This affects children.
Wacha tumalize safari. Juu tulishakuwa ndani, wacha tumalize. Then maybe on the way, God has blessed you guys with kids. And because now you don't have the kind of relationship or the proper relationship, it gets back to the children.
How?
It gets back to the children. Most of the time, when we get back when I'm tired, I can't communicate with my partner. And I would rather communicate with the children, of which sometimes also you find that maybe the children are also nagging you. Then the parents, what do? Either give the phone to the child or I give the laptop to the child. So I remain with one phone. The children are with their phone in their rooms. The husband is in another corner. So the communication is all about the phone. None of us is speaking to one another.
So we really don't have a relationship. We're having a relationship with our gadgets.
It's a gadget kind of a relationship, of which I just asked one of my boys yesterday, do you have a relationship with a TV? Then the young man looked at me and told me, but you can't kiss the television.
Okay.
Yeah, because to him, the relationship should be that kind of, you can be in a position to embrace.
It's intimate.
It's intimate, or you can bring that one another together. You know, even if it's a relationship between the child and the parent, there are times that the kids run to you. They'd want to sleep on your laps, you know, on your chest, so that you embrace them, cajole them, you know. They feel good with that. But anytime they come, you're tired. You're kind of pushing them away. Because even the kiss you give even to your child, according to him, that is what is near. That is what he himself can call a relationship. Not the television, because he can't kiss the television. Yeah.
And you've just gotten into the technology bit of these. I want us to take a very short break, and then when we come back, we look at how are people having, you know, relationships with their gadgets, with their TVs, you know, phones and all that, social media, and they are not having relationships with their partners. So we had gotten to this space where you had mentioned now at homes, we have parents, we have their spouses, yes, we have parents, and now we also have children, but now we also have technology. And it's becoming a bit hard for, you know, for us to form relationships amongst ourselves because we have technology, we have social media. And we just want us to look at some of the challenges we have in building relationships because of technology.
Technology is good.
Yeah.
It has actually simplified our life in terms of communication, in terms of businesses. But also embracing too much technology has actually also come with some damages. Just as we put it, most of the relationship are breaking down because of the technology. The trust, the mistrust, and such like issues as far as the phones are concerned. Sometimes it's time for people we need to rest and have a rest together. Maybe another part of the spouse is glued on the television, still watching the soap movies, maybe until midnight or until 2 a.m.
And
in the morning.
Is there something wrong with that?
Of course. There are those things also which stamp and strengthen the relationship, you know. It is not cast on stone. Yeah, there is the bed of marriage, which is also waiting for you, you know. And here you are, glued in your television. Then when are you warming your bed of marriage?
Okay.
As far as the husband and wife is concerned, when are you there? Or are you there when somebody is now planning to wake up and prepare himself or herself for another duty of another day? You know, that is another contribution of technology as far as the television is concerned. Sometimes we disagree, which is normal, because we are never perfect, but we make perfection in our marriages, in our life, in our relationship, ourselves, because we know what is best for us and what can fit for us and what need to work for us. But now, if we kind of disagree, and instead of maybe solving the issue, you kind of get back to your phone. Even if it's food money that you want to ask from somebody, you text. Everything now is resulting to texting.
You'd rather send a text message instead of
rather than saying it, because just we've disagreed, sitaki kukuongelesha, wacha ishia hapo. And maybe we also take it further in kind of texting and other things. So as you result in looking into the cartoons in your phone and laughing instead of laughing to your partner, everything is kind of getting out of hand. Yeah. Instead of resolving it, you resolve to your cocoons, which is your phone.
And children, how are they also having a problem with just building relationships with their parents because of technology?
Kids are good imitators. Kids imitate the grown-up person. So the child you have today, it's you who mentor and mold that child whom you want this child to be. Remember, this child will also one day grow to be a grown-up person who would also want to have his or her own family. You'll actually imitate what I did say, because our parents are our first teachers. The parents we have in the family are the people we kind of build our trust from. If you betray your child, the child will never know how to trust. And actually would have also killed the self-esteem of that child for the rest of the life. So maybe in later future you need to do a correction of whatever angali mbichi. So if you didn't do that, remember now the damage you kind of building in the life of this child, even in the futures.
I want you to just tell us how, because before we get to leave matters of tech aside, you had mentioned earlier that sometimes we have a difficult time speaking to our children because you get home, you're very tired, and you end up now giving your phone to your child. Does that break connection between you and your daughter or your son?
Definitely.
Yes.
Because you don't have time for this child. Yeah.
But when do we take breaks?
Because most of the time we tend to think, what does the child need? Good school, good food, good clothes, maybe good electronical gadgets that we have in the family. Bring a lot of cartoons. No. My child, your child, need to have a one-on-one communication with you. You need to know your child. You can only know your child when you communicate, when you play. Sometimes you get down to the level of the child, get to play with your child, because it helps you get to learn a lot from your child, get to know your child. Not to leave your child to the gadgets and the teachers.
So can we say you also learn to balance having a communication one-on-one with them, but also let us agree that also the gadgets are important, right? The gadgets are important. The phones, the TVs, they are important. The laptops?
Yes. These are just entertainment things.
But they're still important, right?
Yeah. But they should not take your role as a parent.
Yes.
They should not take your role in relationship with your child, not your role in relationship with your partner.
Okay.
Yes.
But what if the partner is the problem?
Yeah, the partner can be a problem, but I might not be in a position to know I am the problem until you open up and be in a position that we talk. If we can't talk one-on-one, we have our confidence. The people that we trust, can they be in a position to help us?
So it's important to have someone.
Not to kind of communication with the gadgets and other things. But can we have people that we trust within the family? The wife has his or her own family. The husband the same. Can we have the people we trust within the family to be in a position to help us get back as a family and build the relationship that we hold dearly. Because I want to believe nobody get into a relationship with the people we hate.
Yes.
We always get into a relationship, people we love, we like, we care so much, and we are responsible for. So can that responsibility and love drive us back to the drawing board? Where did we go wrong? Where did the rain start beating us? And then sit down, settle the things, and talk them out, rather than piling them until now they are spitting over, not only to us, but also to our children. And I said, children, the first teacher or the first God for the child is the parent. If you mess everything in the life of your child in terms of relationship, you mess the whole life of that child. Yeah, and the generation to come. Because it will keep on spilling over and over again.
I remember you had mentioned that if it is a daughter, the first person they start having a good relationship with is the dad. And now when the dad is becoming somehow...
Yeah. How am I supposed to trust a man? And for the daughter, every man I would really want to have in my life should have the character traits of my father. Because that is the first man I know in my life. That is the first boyfriend I have in my life. A boyfriend that I trust so much. So in any case the dad mess the girl child, then trust in terms of relationship, even in the future, become a problem. It's the same with the mother. If you mess the life of your boy child, because to the boy child, you are the first girlfriend. And the girlfriend that I would want to have in the future should be like my mommy. Because for us, our parents, my dad is the most handsome man in the whole world. My mommy is the beautiful one in the whole world, and nobody. So if that person that I trust is the first person to kill my self-esteem, then where am I supposed to get it? So it's very important to build our relationship as parents so as to mend and build that relationship and the future of our children. Working, it's good because we need to grow also in terms of professionalism. We also need money to keep the family going. But it's important to get time to bond with your family.
Yes, with your loved ones.
With your loved ones. And not only, because if you have the good bonding within you and your husband and your wife, then it also spill over to the extended family.
So when you have a good relationship with those who are very close to you, automatically you'll have a good relationship with others.
Yeah.
Okay.
With your extended families, with your friends, with your colleagues. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's always that relationship, good relationship, make our days. Always. It makes our day.
Now, unfortunately, our guest will be leaving us in just a few. And before you leave, I just want you to give us words of wisdom when it comes to, matters relationship, just the conversation we've been having.
Thank you very much. I was kind of joking with you on the Gen Z generation, the millennium, the rubies and other things. We always say the children of today, no child of today, because the child of today is brought up by the child of yesterday. What is it that which is good that the parent did to me that I also need to give to my child to trickle down to my own generation? We kind of have several breakages in several generation or in relationship, because most of the time we don't think twice. Kama ni makasiriko, wacha iende ikiendanga. Kwani nini? Kwani ni wewe peke yako? Of course ni yeye peke yake. because ni yeye ulimuona among the very many. You'll never build a relationship with everybody, but at least the few that you can mend and build the relationship with, please do. Do. When the time allow you, do. And more so with parents, children, husband and wife, build your relationship. That whom you have is that whom you are given. None is good. The good come from what you build.
What you have.
And what you have. Ulichopanda, ndicho unachovuna.
Unachovuna.
Always. Kama ni fertilizer, you see others have good fertilizer, you can as well put the fertilizer in whatever you have in your relationship, water it and make it work.
Yes.
Thank you.